Hello and welcome to my studio on this cosy winter morning. It's really nice outside. It's one of those kind of cosy, misty, dark days where you can put your Christmas lights on and they don't look drowned out. I need to maybe spruce this studio up because I've got on Saturday a Christmas drawing party. If you want to come, you're invited. It's available to all paying patrons and my tier starts at £1. And I should probably introduce myself just in case there's anyone who's new. My name's Emma, I'm an illustrator based in Sheffield and these are my daily-ish vlogs, so welcome. But yeah, I should probably spruce up behind my desk area so it looks a bit more ready for the party, but that's not for right now. First things first, I have got to film a sketchbook tour for said patrons. It's not going to be a day of me plugging patron, it's just because these are my daily-ish vlogs and you follow me through the day, you follow what I'm doing. So today I need to film a sketchbook tour because it is mid-December, I don't know how it's happened. And I normally like to get those sketchbook tours out of the way the beginning of September. Last month, here are the sketchbooks that I did. So I film my sketchbooks from the previous month, so it's December now, so I'm filming my November observational sketches. I didn't sketch all that much. Normally I like to get about 3 sketchbooks, and when I say 3 sketchbooks, like they're 20 pages long, they're not massive. I normally like to get out and draw from life quite a lot, so I normally get about 3 sketchbooks worth-ish. But yeah, not much at all. I've no idea why that was. So apologies for that, it's going to be a pretty quick sketchbook tour, but that makes it easy for me to film, so let's do it. So I just need to edit these into a video and I'll post that up on my Patreon page. When I was editing that, I had loads of ideas for things that I needed to do. I'm going to get organised this year, so I've added them to my to-do list, which is available on Patreon, by the way. It's not a Patreon plug, it's just what I'm doing today. So I'm getting organised, and this isn't a sponsored thing either, but this arrived through the post today, which is why I got up at 7 o'clock, because for some reason, like the first time since 1994, I've received mail before 8 o'clock in the morning. So like they arrived at 7 o'clock and knocked on the door. They must be getting ahead for Christmas. So I ordered this the other day. I don't normally order off adverts that I see on Instagram, but I did. It's not, like I said, not sponsored, but it's a wall planner. And I always think about wall planners too late. I get to like March and think, oh, a wall planner would have been a really good idea, but never get them. So I've got this, now I need to work out where to put it, and hopefully it'll get me organised for 2024. I'd like it somewhere that I'm actually going to be able to see and access it. I have, up until now, avoided putting blue tack or pins or nails on this wall, apart from my shelves. But it's been a good few years since I painted this, and I think maybe here would do. And now I've cleared this area in front of my stock cupboard, I can access it, which is good. I would put it on the door, but this is wobbly. And also if I took that off, the door is also wobbly. So it is not a good solution. And it's on the yellow, nice and bright, and it brings this wall into the room. I don't really use this wall, apart from to look at. Right, something to stick it with. That's really funny. Over here, that paper looks white, and over here, that paper looks purple. Colour theory, hey? Right, glue tack. I've probably got some blue tack knocking around somewhere. That I've had since I was 15. I don't mean to over exaggerate, but I probably have had this since I was about 15. I mean, it says it won't dry out on the back. It's definitely a bit drier than it was when I first bought it. To be expected, I imagine. Now, I would use tape, but tape makes paint peel, so I'm not going to do that. Ooh, I might have a poster hanger. Hang on. Hang on. I'm so funny. No, it must have been removed in the purge. In the Great Purge, unless, alas, blue tack it is. I have very low hopes that this blue tack will actually stick this to the wall for any length of time, but we must try. We must try. About there. Is it straight? That's the question. No. Good enough. Welcome to my cabinet of curiosities. If you've watched me for a while, you might have seen me go in and out of this cupboard. It has been the most purchase I've ever made. So it's just thrifted from a charity shop. It's an old glass-fronted cabinet. I keep my sketchbooks in here, so that's what I've just been putting away. All of these here are all the sketchbooks, mostly, that I've ever had. These ones are from pre-2023, and the rest of these have been since 2023 when I started sketching properly and I started to understand how to sketch. I've done videos on that before. I will maybe try and link them up here. I've had a little explanation of that and my sketchbook process, so I'll try and link them up there. If not, it'll be in the video description. But I keep them all in here to keep the dust off them more than anything. And also up here I've got knickknacks. Now this is what I'm going to be using in my Christmas drawing party. Usually every month on Patreon we meet up once a month live on Zoom to practice drawing. Usually I provide images via a slideshow and we just practice drawing against the clock. This month I'm going to take more of a Good Ship Illustration art club type angle on the party, just to make it more informal, a bit more fun. So what we're going to be doing is drawing from life in our own homes, but together on Zoom against the clock. And I've got some drawing prompts, I don't know where they are, but it's things like draw with your non-dominant hand, draw holding just the end of your pencil, draw it upside down, draw it like covering your hands, draw something small very big, something big very small, stuff like that. And we'll be drawing against the clock. It'll be a bit of fun, but we'll be drawing from life. So I've asked people to bring their own ornaments from around the house. And this is my little collection of ornaments. And you might be asking why? Why are we drawing ornaments and things? It doesn't have to be ornaments, it can be anything. It can be lampshades, it can be cosmetics, teapots, lights, plants, anything you've got. It's a really important skill to try and convert what you see in 3D to a 2D flat image on the page. And if you're already drawing, like we normally draw from an image because I normally share it on a screen. I find the images, share them as a slideshow, and we're all drawing the same thing. But half of that job's already been done for our brains because it's already been converted from a 3D image into a 2D image. So it's really good practice as much as anything else. I mean, I'm hoping it's just going to be really fun, but the practical elements of drawing something from life are actually really important for developing those skills. And it's a tricky skill to master, which is why we're going to be doing it with a bit of fun, with some prompts, some drawing prompts, just to kind of mix it up so we don't feel too precious about the end result. Because, it's easy to be hard on yourself. So I've got a bunch of things in here. I've got an old milk jug. And these are just things I pick up for like 50p in the charity shop. A little llama. And I like keeping them in this cupboard because it keeps the dust off them. I'm not really a knick-knack person around the house. I do find that they just gather dust a lot. But in a cupboard like this, you get to see them all the time. And, you also keep the dust off them. This is a new one to me. Very reminiscent of something that was in the house when I was growing up. So I like that one. I'll probably be drawing that one at Christmas and the Christmas party. I've got loads of things. These things have been in my house for as long as I can remember anyway. And apparently these came out of Christmas crackers. So maybe I'll draw these as well. I'm just gonna gather a bunch of things. I've got a tin there. So it doesn't have to be ornaments if you're not an ornamenty person. So I've got an old tin that I found in Mum's garage. What else have I got? I've got a seagull, a Toby jug. Also, these will be coming out for sure. I've got, hang on, let me put that one back. Don't know where you went. I've got these guys. So these are Christmas decorations that were my nana's. They're wooden Christmas decorations. They need fixing. I might get the glue gun out and fix them today. I can see someone's tried to fix them there, but it looks like it's been fixed with Tipp-Ex. That might have even been me as a kid. So little wooden Christmas decorations, they'll definitely be coming out. There's another one here that needs a fixing. I didn't realise I had these many actually. So there's a little bear on a drum. And then, I don't know, little monkey bell boy. And I'm assuming an angel or a choir boy, probably a choir. I don't know. So those will be coming out as well. And just things that I've found and collected. Got some nice dried flowers. They're always nice fun to draw. I've got matchboxes. Anything is good fun. So if you're going to be joining in, oh, there's a picture of my old cat. Didn't know that was in there. For you cat lovers, this is my first boy, my very first boy, Bruno, and this is our cat from when I was a little girl. He was a stray and he was an absolute softie. He was so gorgeous. Still miss him every day. So that's my very, very, very first OG boy. Love you. So yeah, if you're going to get joining in our Christmas party, these are the kind of things I'm going to be bringing along. And I'm just going to grab a bunch of them. I'm not going to bring one thing. I'm going to probably bring 10. Might be excessive, but a few. And then I'm going to have a good choice of things to draw. So here's all the prompts that I've got so far. So something wet, choose a wet material like paint. Drawing your non-dominant hand. So if you're left-handed, draw right-handed. If you're right-handed, draw left-handed. Obviously, if you only have one hand, just draw in that hand. I've already said to my patrons, but it's good to mention as well to you guys, don't feel restricted by these prompts. They're just suggestions. If you don't have any paints or any wet materials, don't go out and buy any. Just use what you've got. You can just ignore it. You use something else, or you can do another one of your favourite prompts that we've had so far. So don't be restricted by these. Hold your pencil by the very end. Oh, continuous line drawing and non-dominant hand. So continuous line drawing is when you don't take your pen off the paper. Two-handed drawing, get both hands involved, however. Continuous line, draw without taking your pen off the paper. Upside down, imagine your paper is a mirror. So if I was drawing this cup, instead of drawing it like the top there and the handle here, I'd be drawing it so from the bottom down, and then the top would be down here, and then the handle would be there. Go big, draw something small, really big. No peeking, cover your hands with a box or paper. Something dry, choose a dry material, so like a pencil or pastels or chalks. Again, if you don't have those dry materials, don't go out and buy them. Not just for this anyway. If you want to, you can do that. I'm not your mum, you do you. But yeah, don't feel restricted by them. If you don't have them, don't worry. It's just a bit of fun. You can choose something else. A colour mashup. Choose 2 random colours. Go small. Draw your biggest thing tiny. And like I say, we'll be drawing them against the clock. So it'll just add a little bit of chaos into the drawings. And I really like this as a way to loosen you up. Because when I was showing you my sketchbooks before, the quantity difference between pre-2023 and post-2023 in sketchbooks is massive. And because before 2023, I didn't understand sketching at all. I used to get stressed out. It used to start a downward spiral of kind of self-hate, if not self-hate, self-bullying. So I'd convince myself I was rubbish because I couldn't create finished, beautiful pieces like I'd seen on the internet immediately with no practice. I didn't give myself a break. Do you know what I mean? And sketchbooks are the place you give yourself a break. They're the place where you play. If you think about it, when you are 4 and 5 and you get your paints out, you make a mess, you have fun, and it's intuitive. It's intuitive. There's no kind of I've done this wrong feeling really at that age, 3, 4, 5. It's only once you start getting past that teachers start putting their opinions on your work. And I remember this myself from when I was in the junior school. And this is why I've called our drawing club over on Patreon the Scribbles Aloud Drawing Club, because it's not until recently, and it was from being part of the Good Ship Illustration, one of their courses that they do. Honestly, these guys they're really good. I know I mention them a lot and I'm not sponsored, but they've really opened my eyes to being creative. And just suddenly out of nowhere came a memory of me sitting in my 3rd year junior school, I think it was 3rd year junior school class, and showing my teacher my drawing and them saying, "You're too scribbly, it's too messy, you're scribbling too much, all of these scribbles, you're going out the lines, it's so scribbly, you need to draw more like insert name here." And that person was one of those people, which is fine, that was their thing, but they draw really super, super neat, so almost to the point of being really anal. So they drew it, and it looked really nice, it did look good. And I can see why, as a teacher who may have had book inspections from the head and all that kind of stuff, might have wanted people to be more drawing like this style, because it looked like textbook stuff. So they drew in the lines neatly, not just in the lines, but they drew they coloured in straight lines, so they didn't have that overlap. You know where pens overlap and it goes darker when you overlap? So they did that really, really neatly. And the teacher was like, "Why can't you draw more like this person?" So really picking it apart, that is the moment where I started to critique my own work and compare it to other people's. And really, that's the place where I started I am not good enough. What I make isn't good enough. I need to be more like them. And then after that, a few years later, social media came out. The internet and social media happened, which fueled that fire, which is just basically built on comparison. And it's really unhealthy. So in 2023, when I started to sketch more, after listening to the Good Ship Illustrations Sketchbooker's Friend audio guide, which I very much recommend if you want something to kind of kickstart your sketching journey. And it was a really simple premise. So they suggested timing your sketches, draw something, but draw it for like a minute, then 5 minutes, then whatever, I don't know, whatever the timers were. But it was really simple, and I tried it, and I didn't like my sketches because they were messy and scribbly, and everything that teacher had said wasn't good. I didn't know that at the time because I hadn't analysed the whole thing. But looking back, it's all tied into that. It was messy, it was scribbly, it wasn't neat and finished and polished and perfect. You wouldn't put it on Instagram as a finished piece in a lovely, do you know what I mean? But I thought, well, I'll stick with it because nothing else is working. And the more I did it, the more I realised I love my scribble. I love my scribble. And that really it's my style. I mean, sure, it was very raw in those early days. It did need refining. Looking back now, it was pretty basic sketching, but it's very identifiable as me. It's like my handwriting version of my style. So the more I did that method, the more I timed my sketches, the more I didn't care whether they were scribbly or messy because I was going to do another quick sketch later. You know what I mean? In 30 seconds, I was going to turn the page and I'd never need to look at that page again in my sketchbook if it didn't work out. With that mindset, I just kept going. And over a few months, a real consistency came out, and it was based around scribbles. I love scribbly sketching. not on purpose. It's just like my handwriting version of my drawing style, and it took me a long time to get that. Well, I'm 41 now, so you know, probably took me 30 years to get over that comment. And I don't think that they were trying to be cruel. You know, it was just an offhand comment, but those kind of comments can really have an effect. So anyway, I'm gonna have this coffee before it gets too cold. And even though I'm not sponsored, I don't like being a gatekeeper. So if you like this this planner, it's from people called Good Tuesday. I'd never used them before, but it's a nice big planner. What is that? It's like A2 maybe? Let me check out Rolly. Some of you do ask about Rolls. Ask if he's okay. He is. He spends a lot of time just snuggling in this big jumper that I've put down for him. But here he is, my current boy. Boy of the moment, best pal. Love you so much. Okay, so this is just a little heads up that, and I'm sure you'll understand, on the run up to Christmas, videos may be less frequent than they normally are because, you know, life. I've got to organise stuff, got to see family, got to see friends, lots of kind of just life admin, basically, trying to squeeze all that in. But I will do my very best to bring you along. There's not going to be a lot of arty stuff. Well, mind you, I say that. Maybe there will, I don't know. Whatever I get up to, if I have the time, I will bring you along and film. But up until Christmas, just bear with me and we'll see what we get. And on that note, I'm going to leave this video here. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I will catch you in the next one. And until then, bye.